So what I want to talk to you about in this video is the concept of push and pull sort of structures, right? Because when we're doing marketing or sales, there's different types of funnels. Some people really like the push or sales driven funnels. Others love the pull or marketing driven funnels. I sort of call them the dad funnels, and I will explain why. And it all depends on the type of business that you want to run, right? I've seen both scenarios absolutely crush it. I've done both of them myself over the years and then sort of decided to pivot into whatever is now feeling more aligned with me. So I'm going to share a little diagram with you here that will hopefully make sense. I've gone raw and drawn pen to paper, right? Had some fun. So on the left-hand side, you can see the sales funnel, right? There's a lot of people who use that and do really, really well with that, where essentially what they're doing is they're taking a lead and converting them into a client. So if we take the coaching industry, for example, you might have LinkedIn where you're posting and that takes one person, and then you're shifting into the DMs and you're DMing warm prospects, right? You're doing your follow-ups, you're sending your Calendly link, and essentially the goal there is to basically book a call on your calendar or get them to apply to a form, right? And in that process, you're getting them to buy your product or service on the call, right? And those calls could be 45 to 60 minutes long or whatever they may be. As you learn to scale this, you can essentially hire somebody to either write your content or help you. You can hire setters and closers to sort of scale the business up and deal with your margins. Now, not to say it doesn't work, it actually works beautifully, and that is basically push-driven funnels or book a call funnels, right? You get them to the sale and convert them. On the right-hand side, we've got a pull funnel or a marketing driven funnel, right? That is where marketing does a lot more of the heavy lifting. So that way you don't need a sales call, and all of the convincing or rather pre-selling happens before they see the offer. Because at the end of the day, you're just making an offer, right? In both scenarios. But here we have a lead that comes through LinkedIn the same way. And ideally they go to a landing page and they're given a lead magnet. Now that could be a mini VSL video, it could be like a story or a model. That's how I've done it. It could be an ebook. You know, these two mechanisms or devices basically pre-sell somebody into what it is you're doing. So in the VSL, in my world, I always tell my story so people can build resonance and tell them about my model so they can build relevance. And when you hit them with resonance and relevance together, they sort of buy who you are and what you do at the same time. The same thing goes with the ebook. The ebook is sort of my model, and I can drop it in the comments below if you want to see both of these, which basically tells them how I run my little system and who I am. And off the back of that, you can send emails. Now, there's no right or wrong number of emails. In my world, I send 4 of them. So I get a welcome. I tell them that my cats and dogs are fed because they're part of my funnel. And then basically we have a story, a model, and a results-driven email, again, to hit resonance and relevance at the same time over 4 days. And the goal in these emails is to sell them a $9 product. Now, for me, the easiest yes is to turn a lead to a customer, not a lead to a client when you're running marketing-driven funnels, because it's much easier to say yes to 9 if I've just met you and I'm sort of more cold. I want to make a commitment here, and you will be met with that $9 thing on the way to your VSL or your ebook, right? There could be a redirect, or in those 4 emails, I just aim to give you this $9 thing. Now, where a lot of people go wrong is they give a random thing like viral hooks or templates or something that is unrelated to their high ticket offer. So there's no straight line between them. In my world, I call this the micro snack cartel. You may have heard me talk about this before, but I make sure that this $9 product is a direct link and gives more context or indoctrinates people into my high ticket offer. So in my world, it is a Google Doc training to teach people how to do phoneless or sales-less, client acquisition. So then from there, I have what I call order bumps and upsells, which I won't get into today, but it essentially increases the average order value of this once-off customer. Now, if you decide to run ads, this is the reason this exists, is to liquidate your ad spend, and then you basically fill up your email list and you grow it for quote unquote free. So Zucky pays for your lunch. Now, these customers could then be sent more emails and more YouTube videos to create depth. I send a daily email. Others might have an email sequence if they want to write less. That matters less in this equation to turn a customer to a client, because usually these people want continuity. They buy implementation, they buy speed. So you're taking a low ticket offer into a high ticket offer, which could be 1 to 5K in a Google Doc, for example. So that is a little more long-winded and takes more setup. But once you have, everyone's already on social media, I assume, and then you have a little quick landing page to a VSL or book, you set up your 4 emails and you set up a product, then this little engine goes over and over and over again, and all you have to do is write content and once or twice a week get people into the funnel, and it does the magic on its own, right? So that's the difference between push sort of acquisition and pull acquisition, or sales-driven business and marketing-driven business. And I would be really curious to see where you stand today, or what sort of resonates and where you are in the journey. And I'll see you in the next video.